Yes, a war over a wooden bucket. I'm Ripon, and this is Weirdly Forgotten, where today we're uncovering the strangest war in history, one that started with a truly ridiculous theft. Picture this. It's the year 1325. Italy isn't the unified country we know today. It's a patchwork of powerful city-states, each fiercely independent and constantly bickering. At the heart of our story are two major rivals, Bologna and Modena. Their feud wasn't just about territory or trade, it was a deep-seated ideological clash. You see, this was the era of the Guelphs and the Ghibellines. To put it simply, the Guelphs, like the people of Bologna, supported the Pope. The Ghibellines, like those in Modena, backed the Holy Roman Emperor. These weren't just political parties, they were identities. Imagine a sports rivalry, but instead of teams, it's about who you believe holds ultimate authority over all of Christendom. Families were divided, cities were at each other's throats, and tensions were always simmering just below the surface. They'd been fighting on and off for over a century, raiding each other's lands and generally making life miserable for one another. All they needed was a spark to set off another major explosion. And that spark, unbelievably, came in the form of a simple wooden bucket. The story goes that a small group of soldiers from Modena snuck into the city center of Bologna. Under the cover of darkness, they made their way to a public well. And what did they steal? Gold? Secret documents? No. They stole the oaken bucket used to draw water from the well. It was a prank, a schoolboy taunt on a military scale. They absconded with their prize and proudly displayed it back in Modena as a trophy, a symbol of their daring and Bologna's incompetence. Now, you might be thinking, so what? It's a bucket. But to the people of Bologna, this was the ultimate insult. It wasn't about the bucket's monetary value. It was about pride. It was a public humiliation. Imagine your city's most treasured monument being defaced by your biggest rival. That's how they saw it. The Modenese were mocking them, laughing at their inability to protect even the simplest of public property. The citizens of Bologna were furious. They immediately sent an ultimatum to Modena: return our bucket, or else. The Modenese, probably still laughing about the whole affair, refused. For them, the bucket had become a symbol of their superiority. Giving it back would be an admission of weakness. So, with Modena refusing to return the stolen property, Bologna declared war. A full-scale official declaration of war, over a bucket. The leaders of Bologna mustered an army of about 32,000 men. This was a massive force for the time, comprised of infantry and cavalry, all marching with the singular goal of retrieving their stolen pail and punishing Modena for its insolence. Modena, despite being outnumbered, wasn't about to back down. They gathered their own forces, a much smaller army of around 7,000 men, but what they lacked in numbers, they made up for in strategic positioning and Ghibelline grit. The two armies met on November 15th, 1325, near a place called Zappolino. The resulting conflict would go down in history as the Battle of Zappolino. What began as a dispute over a trivial object was about to become one of the bloodiest battles of the medieval period in that region. From the outset, things looked bleak for Modena. They were outnumbered more than 4-1, but their commanders were clever. They chose their ground carefully, using the terrain to their advantage. The Bolognese army, confident in their superior numbers, charged forward. The battle raged for hours. It was brutal, chaotic, and utterly devastating. Swords clashed, arrows flew, and the ground became soaked with blood. Against all odds, the smaller Modenese army began to gain the upper hand. Their disciplined German cavalry and strategic defense broke the Bolognese lines. Panic set in among the larger army. Their charge faltered, then turned into a full-blown disorganized retreat. The Modenese forces chased them all the way back to the gates of Bologna, slaughtering thousands along the way. Historians estimate that around 2,000 men lost their lives that day. 2,000 people dead because of a prank involving a wooden bucket. The Modenese soldiers celebrated their incredible victory by parading outside the walls of Bologna, taunting their defeated enemies before finally heading home. And did they return the bucket? Of course not. The victory made the bucket an even more potent symbol of their triumph and Bologna's humiliation. They took it back to Modena and placed it in the bell tower of their main cathedral, the Torre della Ghirlandina, as a permanent war trophy. And here's the craziest part. A bucket, believed to be the very one that started the war, is still there today. You can go to Modena and see this humble wooden pail, a silent monument to one of the most absurd conflicts in human history. The original is kept safe, but a replica hangs in the tower for all to see. So, what does this bizarre story teach us? It's a powerful lesson about human nature. The War of the Oaken Bucket wasn't really about a bucket at all. The bucket was just a trigger. The real cause was years of pent-up rivalry, political division, and most importantly, pride. It was about honor, reputation, and the desperate need not to be seen as weak. It shows how easily petty squabbles, when fueled by ego and ideology, can escalate into deadly violence. History proves time and time again that sometimes our own ego can be far deadlier than any weapon. The desire to win an argument or to not lose face can lead people, and even entire nations, to make catastrophic decisions. It's a sobering reminder that the silliest of disputes can have the most tragic of consequences. What do you think? Was this the most ridiculous reason to start a war in history? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on Weirdly Forgotten. If you enjoyed this dive into the stranger side of history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more tales you weren't taught in school. See you next time.